record this. So this hour we are doing CSS. I would recommend you to stay with the showcase. We are just gonna add more files. Actually, we should be modifying what we have before. So I'm gonna put this news in here. All right, so we've done this before, right? This is the news part. It doesn't look very good because it doesn't have CSS on. Let me show you what CSS are. Do I have already CSS in here? No, but in the turtle that we did, you guys seen this, right? The style. Okay. Everything under this style, you may have noticed that the syntax is different. What is under style? It's called CSS. Those are your cascading style sheets, so-called. So that's one language. Your HTML, it's another language, and your JavaScript is another language. So your web page is kind of a trio, right? It's made up of 3 different things. We have the focus of this this unit, it's on CSS, right? So as you might have noticed in this turtle, yes, we have some JavaScript that are local, that are written here underneath the script tag. Yet there is also JavaScript that is linked in through here. That's the turtle library, right? If I were to copy this URL, I don't know if any of you try this. You copy that URL and then open a new tab and you paste it in. Those are JavaScript libraries, which are getting downloaded and applied to, okay? So your turtle is actually using all the JavaScript that is here, written by someone, okay? So that's a library for turtle that enables you to draw the grid, turn left, turn right, make lines, do colors, all sort of things. So this script, I can also externalize it. So if I want to do that, let me show you how to do that. So I could create, usually the JavaScript and CSS get to stay in its own folder. Okay, so you will be creating a folder saying, that's my JavaScript, and I'll create a file inside this JavaScript, and it's gonna say turtle code 1, okay, .js. .js is the extension for JavaScript. Okay, it has to say that. It has to say .js. You cannot say .html, then it doesn't work. And I could go to my turtle code and then just grab all this custom JavaScript without the script tag though, without the script tag, but everything inside, paste to here, and then I go script src, and I'll link to it and say this is JS folder, and inside is code 1, and it would do exactly the same. Okay, it will still do turn left, turn right. I think it's going to turn up. So still do exactly the same. Okay, so in that case, I could pull this JavaScript out, put all the code as a file, and link to it. All right. Similarly, I could do that to a style tag. So in this case, everything that is in here could be pulled as another file. I am actually not going to change the styles, but I'm going to go to the story, to the news, and then do some modifications in there, okay? The news story, maybe the children's story, it doesn't matter, either or. Okay, so I will have this loaded. It currently looks like this, nothing fancy, okay? You may have seen a few ways to change style locally by either having a style tag here, or we did something like hiding, saying this H1 here. It says, don't judge by a book, okay? I could say style, okay? And it has value of color, and I'll say red. Okay, I can do that. and this would just change that tag. Okay, so in that case, this style apply to this tag that it has. Okay, however, usually you want a style has to have a name so that you can apply them to multiple spots. So in order to do that, I'm gonna create a style tag inside the head section, usually goes inside head section, and the syntax looks like so. If I want to target H1, there are many ways for your style definition to apply to. One way is by the name of the tag. So I can say this is going to target H1s. So I'm going to say H1. And it's, what's the syntax again? Sometimes I'm not really, let's see, turtle. Okay, looks like this, okay? Bracket, sorry, braces. And then what definitions that you want to have would be color in this case, and red. So if I were to do this, I don't need this tag anymore. Okay, it's gonna have color red for all the H1s. Now all the H1s will have color red, and I can say all the H3s is gonna take another color. So I can say H3s is gonna take another color. Maybe in this case, I'm gonna go use this selector. It's gonna say RGB. You can also do hexadecimals in here. I'll pick another color that is brighter so I can see the difference. All right. Now all the H3s will have another color. I hope you can see that. Yeah, all the H3s now has another color. Let me bring the lessons up so I'm not getting sidetracked. All right, so this is the lesson itself. We are gonna talk about CSS files. Okay, so let's first link to CSS file, and they are. Here's a resource website that talks about CSS for different items, which is a good reference. You can go there if you're looking for something. Anyways, to link up a style sheet. Say I have these two selectors here and I want to externalize it. Here's how you do it. Usually all the CSS are in a folder of its own. So I'm gonna click outside. I'm not gonna create a folder inside another folder. So CSS. Okay. If you accidentally create a folder inside another folder, it's gonna look like this. You can drag that out. Okay. And then they're kind of next to each other. I'm gonna select CSS. I'm gonna create oopsie, not create a folder, create a file rather. I'm gonna call it style1. Again, the extension is now CSS for cascading style sheet. And if I were to copy and paste, again, just the content without the tag to this file here. And if I were to refresh, the style will be gone, but when I link it back, the style will be there. Okay, see the style is gone. Now if I were to link it, I'm not gonna write the tag here, but I'm gonna say style. See, I think I need to go link. Okay, so it's called link CSS. Okay, and then this href, it's gonna link me to that CSS file. So if it's sitting in a folder, I gotta name the folder first, hit enter, click on the file, and now the two are linked again. Okay, now the style have been applied. So what's the benefit of doing this? By doing this, you are putting CSS in another file, you are putting a JavaScript in another file so that you can edit them differently. This document would be shorter, so it's easier to find things. Number one. Number two, if this style it's on its own file, I can reapply this to multiple files. Okay, if I have 10 HTML files, I can apply same style to all the pages on my website. If I want to change something, I just have to change one file once rather than open 10 files, change 10 times. Okay, that's why we externalize it. So we do that from get-go, so we don't have to, do unnecessary work. Right. So here's how you link up a file, a CSS file. Here are some examples to show you how to apply CSS to many things, and all these are tags. So you can apply a CSS definition to a link, to a paragraph, to H1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to apply same color to multiple headings or paragraphs or whatnot, you can just list their names separated by comma, and then this will be applied to all of them. Okay. You can give multiple properties under the same definition. I can specify color, I can specify border, left, right, radius. I can specify multiple things. So these are the properties inside a CSS. You can also adjust it left and right. I think it's nice to do that. And here are how. Okay. These are some sample selectors that allows you to apply the definition to the body, to the paragraph, so on and so forth, to the image. What I'm needing you to do is create some sort of body selector, have some definitions in there. You can change the font family, whatever. Multiple heading selectors, which look like this. Okay, that's your multiple heading selectors. You have paragraph selectors that would be selecting P. It's gonna look like P with a definition, and then you can specify whatever you want to specify. And anchor selectors, please apply that to your A. Anchor selectors examples are here. So you can specify a color when you hover on it. That one is interesting to do. I'll show you how to do that. A hover. So I can say when I hover on it, the background color is gonna change to aquamarine. So if I have that, all my children's stories link, it's gonna react to the mouse. Okay, do you see that? Okay, so all the link now highlight when mouse is over it. So that's the hovering effect. So that's that. I guess it make more sense when you start working on it. Okay, so be sure to create the link for CSS, and you would be working your CSS on an external file. Okay, be sure not to put the style tag in here, because in that case it's not gonna work. Okay, so I think that's the lesson, unless you have further questions.